But it's we're killing ourselves here.
What's funny is like I kind of feel like okay, well by the time you do figure it out, then the next hot thing is like prevalent or whatever. So there's a slight fear of that. But I mean, look, I mean that's how social media works anyway. So
I mean, I don't know. That's the thing. Like we keep telling ourselves like that's how social media works.
yeah, well, you know what I mean. Social media, I mean, it's still in its infancy. You know what I mean? It's not like it's been around, but it's not been like around, especially with new things coming up like every couple of years or so. I mean, look out, like what was it? What was hot for a second, and it's still prevalent, but like not Snapchat. Like look at Snapchat. Snapchat was hot for a second, and then no one really talks about Snapchat now. When was the last time you heard anybody talk about their Snapchat?
But here's the thing, Chris. Is it that we don't talk like who's not talking about it? Because I think kids still use Snapchat.
I think
they got shows on it.
You see, well, I'm 47, so like it's a small list. There's a small list of I mean, if I talk to cats in their early 20s or mid 20s, it's probably because of comedy. Outside of comedy, I don't think I'd have any real reason to be talking to 20-somethings.
It'd be weird, yeah, if you were.
Yeah, man. But you know what? I don't know. I don't think Snapchat's as popular. I mean, some people might use it for their own little like dirty motives and whatever.
Right. Listen. God bless.
But we're talking about the 20-something. I mean, if you're an older cat doing it, then you know what? Props to you. You know, like, well,
I mean, if you're an older guy doing it to a younger kid, who knows? You know,
younger adult. Please, hopefully,
little asterisk there.
Fingers crossed. Like younger adult. But yeah,
YouTube algorithm.
Speaking
of which,
yes, like you were talking about earlier, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know Snapchat. Yeah, but that's the thing. These avenues, some of them just come and go. Like, I mean, YouTube has obviously stood the test of time, right? And
so far,
right to this point, so people still go to and use different features of YouTube, like as I plan to and all of that. I actually had a couple of sets on YouTube. Like I had like a channel, but it was with like material from like this is going back maybe 4 or 5 years, and I played it back, and I like deleted that shit immediately.
I did the same exact thing.
I was like, yo, you know what I mean? So but yeah, it's an ongoing, and it's kind of sort of the cool part if you got the patience, you know what I mean?
That's the thing. Do we have the patience? Also, what does Andrew Schultz tell us to do? That's a big factor of this.
You know what? I haven't really heard what his advice was, but I know that he has like 3 gazillion like views and likes and so on.
He was right about? Yeah, he said on Rogan, do YouTube Shorts. So guess what I did? YouTube Shorts.
Now
I got a whole foot fetish community that watches this.
Hey, look, man, fans are fans.
Fans
followers are followers.
fans.
That's it.
That's right. That's why you got to wiggle the toes a little bit, just for the creeps out there.
I'll leave it to you.
Listen, listen. We're an artist here. I'm not gonna. Art is subjective.
I mean, I'm an old athlete with beat up feet. Nobody wants to see my toes. I can assure you.
Chris, I'm going to be honest. There's an audience out there.
Well, for busted up feet, like a cat that's got like a little bit of hammer toe action and having like going on the left foot. Like,
we'll leave some for the Patreon, Chris. All right, we'll leave a little to the imagination.
That's right. I killed the mystery about my beat up feet.
Yeah, you can't let them know.
Oh, my bust, my fault.
Your bust. Don't say bust and feet in the same sentence.
Well, and we're there.
So how the hell are you? I haven't seen you since Nixon was in office. How the hell are you?
I know, man. Like we're so like removed from the mics that we used to do a few years back, and you branched out. I know you were doing shows.
Thank God, man.
Well, hey, look, man, that's part of the journey, right? We gotta pay our dues with the mics and all of that, and I guess still go to them from time to time. But over time, I guess start getting booked for shows here and there.
Start getting paid a little bit.
Well, no. Put emphasis on a little bit.
Big emphasis on a little bit.
Yeah, man. But I mean, look, there's a process involved with comedy. There's a process involved, and it's a patience game. I think it's a big time patience game, and without it, you're gonna get frustrated. You know what I mean? So
you're gonna get frustrated no matter what. I'll tell you that much.
With me, it's something where I've waited like a lot longer for certain things to happen in my life, something I'm continuing to wait for. So by the time I jumped into comedy those years back, I was already broken in terms of, being patient and waiting for something that, I feel should have came like maybe sooner than now or whatever. But you get
Okay.
so it's just kind of like, so when I see other people losing their minds and banging their head against the wall, it's just kind of like, yeah, I
You've done
get
it in so many other fields. You're like,
yeah, man. It's just like, so like, I'm able to maintain my composure, so.
okay. Well, now break that down. This is the podcast. We just keep breaking things down.
Yeah,
Just continuous breaking down.
let's go.
What were you waiting for in your life? You're like, I've done this so many times before. Now break that down for me. What have you been so patient with? You were an athlete. I don't even know. I just knew you were athletic.
I played semi-pro and minor league football for like a bunch of years after things didn't work out at Temple University. This is going way back to.
Well, you
like,
play at Temple.
Well, yeah, I was on the practice squad. Didn't get a lot of playing time, so I was just like, you know what? I'm not on scholarship. I'm owing a good amount of money, so let me get out of here. And then after that, I just did semi-pro and minor league ball, and I did that for a little over a decade. So that's
Why? Like NFL Europe?
Nah. It's just like teams along the Eastern Seaboard, like yeah.
You're playing full contact competitive minor league football?
Yeah.
You don't talk about this?
I mean, who wants to hear about it?
We're gonna find out, Chris.
I mean, like, look, it's not like I was playing on TV, so it was like, it's a smaller, lower level league. I mean, I loved ball, so I just kind of kept playing. And at some point, I knew I wasn't going to be playing on TV or playing like professionally, but I wrote it out for as long as I could. I stopped playing in my early 30s, and honestly, that's the like 31, 32, and then a little bit, maybe a few years after that, I was just kind of like, okay, well, what am I going to do to fill the entertainment void in my life, the leisure void in my life? And I just started going to mics. I was always able to, goof around, joke around with teammates, friends, make them laugh and all of that good stuff.
You're a locker room guy.
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
I would say so. There's a magnetism about me, I guess. And it's something that I've had to accept, like, over the last couple of years. Because, like, I mean, I won't think anything of it, but then it's something where I kind of, like, make... Wherever I go, I'll make a room kind of gel. Like, if we got like a bunch of players that are from here, there, and everywhere, right?
Right.
And maybe they don't really connect with one another because they're all from different places and all of that. Like, I was kind of the glue. And it's something that I realize happens in a lot of places that I go, places that I've worked, gyms that I've trained at, gyms that I've managed. It's something where everybody, what's wrong with people? Like, people, like, their communication skills, it leaves so much to be desired.
It's called autism, Chris.
So everybody's autistic on some level, right?
Spectrum.
We're just blaming the spectrum for everything. But you know what? You might be onto something there, because there are people that believe that a lot of people are on the spectrum on some level or another. And it's weird for me because maybe that's where I'm at on the spectrum. Maybe that's kind of like a glitch in my system just makes me like not have a hard time interacting with people. Maybe I'm the weirdo, because most people are kind of like socially awkward on some kind of level, and I think that that's unbelievably weird. There's 10 million people in this city, and we're constantly bumping into one another. Yet meanwhile, people have a hard time making eye contact with one another, and people are always kind of like fumbling around to say the right thing or what they think is the right thing. Or,
okay.
And sometimes I just look at, and you could just kind of see like the internal discomfort that people just kind of walk around with, So if you have a bunch of people like that, and then you have me simply going into, say, a gym and be like, hey, and just saying, hey on a regular basis, and that's unnatural. But then it kind of puts them in a comfort zone. Next thing you know, you have kind of like a little bit of a community in whatever avenue you happen to be in. So,
right.
So whether with me, whether it was the locker room or whether it was the gym or whether it was a workplace, like people were able to connect better with one another for me being there. And it's weird, and I'm not tooting my own horn. I feel like people should take advantage of the fact that they can make a connection at any given time.
Yeah, because not many people can do it.
Yeah. And and it's weird because what the fuck is hard about it?
Right.
Like what's hard about looking at another person and just kind of like engaging in whatever a matter at hand might be. You could be talking about some cologne at some mall that one person might be trying to buy. Oh, well, like I know, but you should try this edition of I don't know, whichever Calvin Klein fragrance or You know what I mean? I'm just throwing out a random bullshit.
That's a very
examples.
specific example.
Oh yeah, but I'm saying, but this is my point. It could come from anything. Like a connection can come from anything. You know what I mean? Where people can become more comfortable in front of each other. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're talking about people that see each other on a regular basis.
Right.
You know?
Well, especially at a gym or something. Like you don't still work at it. You're a teacher, no?
No, I do boring stuff now, man. Like I do like data entry, contracts, but I'm not. I'm trying to figure out the comedy journey and all of that. So that's currently what I'm doing now. So
okay, wait. So how you were a personal. Okay, let's break it down.
Oh man,
let's break down this journey.
You really want to like? I've had so many different jobs. It's to the point I talk about the shit on stage. But
listen, yeah, we just found out the other week. Taylor Yarish, you know Taylor Yarish.
Yeah,
he grew up. His dad spray painted Twister into his floor.
Spray painted Twister
onto the floor. So yeah, we break that, and that's the third episode we found that out. So it's gonna take a while.
Why did he?
Oh, white trash. Well, that's how it starts.
Okay.
That's the genesis of spray painting Twister into your floor.
So white trashism can get to a level where you're spray painting. Okay. All right.
Oh, Chris, there are levels of trash you might not be familiar with.
I'm absolutely positive, that I'm not familiar with it.
Are you familiar with the difference between Hot Pockets and Lean Pockets?
They're made by the same company, I'm assuming?
I'm not even sure. But that's clear that if you don't know what the difference is, that's good. If you don't know there's two different types of pockets, you're doing pretty well.
That I don't really care for like microwavable food too much, but like
that's classy. See right there, that's a classy sentence.
Yeah, we're setting the bar low. We're talking about if that qualifies as classy, then it's just like I think you're setting a low bar. You know, because like at the same time that we'll say that, right? At the same time that we'll say that, like I'm not a big restaurant guy. I almost never go to a restaurant. I can't remember the last time I actually sat in a restaurant and like ate a meal. Okay, so now you look at me in a different light now because.
But why do you not like it?
I don't believe in having dinner at restaurants. It might be that doing comedy just simply corrupted me.
That's definitely possible.
It could be, but you know what? My dinner was always late. You know, because I've always been in nightlife. You know, like. Whether I was working at again another job I had, whether I was bouncing at bars or even just enjoying nightlife myself. We're talking about old New York when there were clubs and venues all over the place, as opposed to the 14 that seem to exist now. But that's another story. But yeah. And anyway, whatever the reason, like I could probably count on like one or two, like one hand, like how many dinners I've had before midnight. My dinners are all late, So, and I'm comfortable. Because I feel like, okay, by the time you go through your work, your nightlife, whatever, blah blah, at the end of it all, that's when you reward yourself with a meal. And if it happens to happen at 1:30, 2 a.m. or whatever, then so be it. Eat it and then not.
So what are you doing? Bodega sandwiches? What are we working?
No, I mean, hey, like where I'm at right now, Queens, or the spots that I lived at in Queens. There's late night go tos. There's certain carts. There's certain there's this one Indian a la carte kind of thing. There's one Mexican. That Mexican restaurant is definitely the one that kind of like really holds me over. Or sometimes I'll get something early and it's waiting for me when I'm done with and I'll just heat it back up.
You'll crush a chicken tikka masala at 2 a.m. from the cart
guy. Let me tell you something. Yo, those are good, man. But let me tell you, they're so cheap with the goddamn portions, man. Like, they're good. They're good, man. But then, because I eat, pretty big.
Well, you're lifting.
Well, yeah, so I have I eat like one big meal. And that's basically like my diet, and I kind of graze through the day. I'm not a big breakfast guy. I'm not a breakfast guy. Breakfast. I just
that struggle. Toothpick's fucking struggling, killing you.
For breakfast it is all right. So so I don't really do breakfast. Breakfast is like coffee and a cigarette, and then I don't really do lunch.
That's a trash breakfast.
Which
coffee and a cigarette for breakfast?
Hey, listen, man. Look, it's worked to this point, all right? Don't go ruining shit on
true.
me.
You look good.
Yeah, I do what I can. I mean, yin and yang.
What kind of cigarettes?
Dunhill Menthols. Don't ask me how I started smoking them. it's stuck, then yeah.
Okay,
that's
so
my thing.
We're going consistent. Okay.
Yeah. So all right. So
Are we doing instant? What kind of coffee are we talking about?
black, just regular black coffee.
But what are we doing? We're doing a Maxwell House. We got a Keurig. Like what? Break down the situation.
Dunkin'. Slide on just slide.
You go to Dunkin', you get a medium coffee, hot coffee.
Yeah,
You're a
small.
hot coffee
I used
guy.
to be just a small black at this point. At one point I was a medium dude, but then because I have I guess a pretty solid engine, especially for a person my dusty ass age, 47. Like I don't really need a lot of coffee. Like more than half the time, I don't even finish that small cup. So sip, smoke, boom.
Well, that cigarette's got you going, buzzing.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, well, all right, fine. So they formed Voltron and just got my engine, get my engine going or whatever. But going back to the whole dinner thing, like,
all right.
Here's my whole shit. Like, I feel like people, and I feel like it has a lot to do with social conditioning. I feel like people don't really put themselves in a position to be happy and comfortable because everybody's constantly on the go. Every time I see somebody having let's say they're having halal on the train, right? And I'm pretty sure that person was just dying to eat that damn halal. Now he's thinking up the whole train car, right? And that really should be the thing that draws my eye, but it's not that. It's like, yo, that's a meal. That lamb over rice or chicken over rice with white sauce, hot sauce, that's a meal.
Hopefully that's what it is.
Well, no, it's a meal. It's a meal. And I feel like a meal, that you earn that. You should be able to enjoy that in a place of comfort. And that place of comfort shouldn't be the 6 train. You know what I'm saying? You should be.
I mean, you're preaching to the choir on that one.
Well,
I'll never eat on a Subway. Will you eat on a Subway?
It's been years. I was probably a teen. But I was going to Brooklyn Tech. I used to get a couple of toasted bagels, butter and jelly or whatever. Why that's specific?
A bagel's
necessary?
fine.
Wow, that's specific.
I think a bagel's good on the train.
I mean, yeah, but that's kind of like a snack. I mean, I'm not opposed to other people doing it, but again, it's not the whole thing about offending other passengers. It's just like, yo, it kind of reflects. To me, it reflects the lack of control you have over your life. If your time constraints are such that you got to eat on the train, that's when it's like, okay, I feel like that's when it's time to figure shit out.
Okay,
it's time to fit. And now as far as restaurants go, look, I mean, this is definitely personal to me.
All right,
but I kind of feel like a meal like that can be just simply enjoyed at home. Like, I mean, I see people dating. I see people they'll be at a restaurant. Let's say they're at Del Frisco's or a nice steakhouse, and they're out there on that date. And I feel like, man, dinner dates should be band or some shit. Like, I mean, if you want to go, if there's some kind of special occasion thing, fine. Dating purposes, it's just kind of chill. Because it's like, yo, how do you enjoy dinner the most? Do you enjoy it at some 5-star restaurant where you're dressed in your best shit,
right?
And you're trying to impress the girl you're dating? It's like a first date or second date, and you're really trying to you're pulling out all the stops, all hands are decked. This dinner date is part of the plan. And, again, you're trying to be on your smoothest, order food that you hope she loves, blah, all of this thinking and all of that.
Okay.
Or do you enjoy dinner more like that, or do you enjoy it in your boxes? At your crib, you know what I'm saying? It's whether it be 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, right? You got the Knick game on, you know what I'm saying? You got your favorite fucking shirt on with all the holes in it. How do you prefer it more at Del Frisco's, or do you prefer scenario B?
So you prioritize comfort over anything else?
Yeah, that's where I'm at, man.
Okay.
And maybe,
that's some old shit.
I don't know. I mean, there's something to be said for being. Because how old are you?
29.
29, right? There's something to be said for getting into your 40s, and if you're anything, God forbid, I hope there's not too many that fit my profile, but you get to a certain age and you end up being one way for so damn long, right?
You can't snap out of it.
I mean, I can, but I would need really, really good reason. You know what I mean? That's my thinking. So maybe it's something about being middle-aged, and for being middle-aged, you just become set in your ways. It could be that. But with me, it's just more to okay, I'm open to change. I'm open to compromise, but I have to be able to justify it.
You got to wear your favorite shirt.
Well, yeah. Well, no, shit, me. Most of the time, I'll be just in a towel. You know what I'm saying? Just
hold the phone. So you're rocking just a towel, 8 p.m. for the Knicks game every night.
Well, you know what? If we're talking about the comparison, if we're talking about the option of going to a fancy restaurant and that, then yeah, I'm likely, if it's summertime, I'm probably eating in a towel. That's it.
Wait, what about the winter?
Maybe a towel and a
Two
shirt.
towels.
A towel and a shirt. Like, so it'll be something along those lines.
A towel and a shirt?
Yeah.
You'll have a towel wrapped around you and a shirt on top.
I'm home, Rich. I'm home. You know what I'm saying? If I'm home, like, whatever, like.
Throw some shorts on, Chris. What are we doing here?
You live alone. You're gonna be walking around. You walk around naked or whatever like that, and then I mean that. Look, this is your plan, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, you don't walk around naked.
You do, but if I'm eating dinner, I'm gonna throw some. Listen,
I did throw something on.
Chris, we live in society. You can't just be wearing a towel.
Why the fuck not? I'm by myself in my own crib.
Because this isn't. You're not a Scottish knight. You can't just be rocking kilts around the apartment.
Hey, listen, man. Look, what we're talking about here is comfort, right? Who I gotta have?
Your balls are swinging all over the place, Chris.
Who do I have to have my drawers on for? If there's nobody over. Now, if you happen to knock on the door, I'll be like, hold on, Rich. It's like, all right, throw on some freaking drawers or whatever, or lounge pants, I guess. And then everything is cool.
You're a big plaid pajama pants guy, I feel like.
I have a couple.
I had a feeling.
I had a couple.
That's the vibe you give off.
Yeah, only recently did I step up to that level.
The flannel pajamas. Okay, listen.
I had some help.
You had some help for flannel pajamas?
I had some help being coerced into like, oh, these are nice. Some lady I was dating at the time or whatever.
Listen.
Outside of her, I'd probably be in towel mode and when I was in that scenario.
Someone had to get you out of there.
Yeah. But you know what though, man? Like that's the thing, man. Like you get to middle age and you just kinda get like just set in your ways. Especially like me, like I've been furiously single for like a while. And
seriously single.
Yeah, like I mean I joke about it a lot, like sometimes on stage, I'll be like, I've drank my way out of at least like 3 relationships. Wow. And you know what, no one laughs at that part. That shit breaks my fucking heart, man, because I think that shit's fucking hilarious.
Because they're watching you being like, same.
I'm finding humor. They're looking at me like, this guy's a fucking train wreck. And I'm just like, come on, man, it's fucking humor. Like, but yeah. And I, but like, again, you stay single long enough, right? Or you stay in a certain like way of life long enough, you might change because maybe for being in that situation, you don't feel like you're happy enough, or you don't feel like you're content, or you're not in your comfort zone for being that way so long. And you might look in the mirror and say, "Oh, well, Rich, it's time for a change," or me myself, like, yeah, whatever. It's like and I'm anybody's fool for all I know. Maybe, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, I'm looking at life in a different light, and I'll say, okay, I'm going to go for this change or whatever. But the whole thing is, like, I'm comfortable in that towel, and I'm comfortable having my 2 o'clock dinners or whatever, right? And I don't really see the point in spending, a chicken dinner in a restaurant. What's that go for right now?
Well, I mean, what kind of restaurant are we talking about? Like a chirping chicken, or are we sitting down at a real place?
Let's put it in the middle, like just
we go to a diner? Like, what are we doing?
Okay, let's say a diner.
Okay, we're going to a diner?
Yeah, we're looking at $30, $40.
A diner?
Yeah.
You're looking at, I'd say 20 to 25.
20 to 25, right? Okay.
I don't know what you're ordering, though.
Well, I'm not by myself. I'm on a date at a diner, let's say. Right?
You're going on a date at a diner?
It's a hypothetical.
Are you wearing pants?
No, but the point I was trying... Depends. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, so, but all right. So you can... Figure at the very least you're at a diner, you have company or whatever.
Okay.
Right? Okay.
You're picking up the bill. We'll
level up. We'll level up. A restaurant like, I don't know, fucking Route 57 if it's still around. I don't fucking know.
Route 57. Okay.
All right. Okay. Now you're there, and let's say they do a chicken dinner there, right? I know they're more like Asian themed, but I don't. All right, but you got to figure anywhere between $70, $100.
We getting drinks? What are we doing?
Well, we should probably jump it up to like 150 or something like that.
Yeah, if we get an appetizer. I mean,
you see what we're talking about
that's
here?
what we're doing.
Listen,
I'm a classy broad. You can't just pay. You can't just give me an entree and a water.
Well, I know you live in this big fancy building down in freaking,
moving out. That's changing real quick.
Fair, but yeah, though. I mean, I'm thinking about losing all that money, right, to impress some girl when I could be at the crib, 2:00 in the morning, in my boxes, maybe watching like Sports Center. I mean, like, does that not sound like bliss to you? And then I could just get like a rotisserie chicken, a whole rotisserie chicken
Whoa.
at Food Town.
Rotisserie chicken's all right.
Oh, this is what I'm
Rotisserie
saying.
chicken's fantastic.
Well, fantastic,
Yeah.
right? For what? If you get it at Food Town or Trader Joe's, any of those like popular markets, you're getting that for under $10.
That's the beauty of rotisserie chicken.
Yo, a whole chicken, a whole nicely cooked rotisserie chicken. Yo, I mean, time was you could get it for $6. I mean, like, but now you're still staying under 10 most places.
The only thing recession proof is a rotisserie chicken.
Come on, man. And like, I hope we're not jinxing it, but yeah, man.
Listen.
Come on, man. Like, I mean, God bless the chick that I'm taking to that restaurant, but nah, we gonna have to do something else. We'll go. I'll go to the museum with her, man. But like, nah, as far as like,
Is that your move?
ban dinner dates, man. We need to ban dinner dates.
Yeah. I don't know. You're not coming off great. If there's for all the two females that listen to this podcast, you're not coming off great to the female population.
Jimmy crack corn.
All right.
I mean, look. I mean, I'm not gonna win them over on that point. I mean, there's a multitude of not a multitude, but there's a number of reasons why I'm like anti-dinner date. Like the first thing is the comfort thing, right? And the second thing is like let's say you're really like hitting it off with a girl, like like the vibe is there, like it's there.
Right there.
It's about shit's it's around the corner of like two people really being
close.
primal, right? Let's say you hit like paid her, like now you gotta have sex with a full stomach.
I mean,
You ever had sex with a full stomach?
can I be honest? I like your confidence.
You know what? I know what I'm saying makes sense. I'd be like, look, all right, maybe I'm going out on a limb here, right? Maybe I'm going out on a limb, but I deeply believe that if you're having sex on a full stomach, you're not taking sex seriously. Like you're not taking your performance seriously. You're basically speaking to, okay, I just want to get mine and get done. And even if you're trying to get yours and get done, you can't be comfortable. You just had a steak dinner.
I like how you approach sex like you would approach football back in the day. You're like, you can't eat right before.
Hey, maybe
You got to stretch. You got to warm up. We can't pull a hammy out there.
Maybe
we got
maybe
four
it's personal-
quarters.
Hey, look, maybe it's personal to me, but my reasoning is if in theory you're supposed to wait half an hour after you eat before you go swimming.
All right.
I mean, if it applies to swimming, then in my mind it should apply to sex. Like,
Chris, I'm nervous. I think you might be wearing a mouthpiece during sex.
hey, listen, look, man, I'm just saying, I consider myself an artist, but we don't have to get into specifics with me. I mean, again, that's personal to me, man, but. I mean, look, man. If you're pro dinner date, man, look. I'm not knocking you. It's not like if you're eating at a fence. If you're at Del Frisco's and I'm passing by, I'm not gonna look at you when you're a lady and be like, "Fools!" You're like,
I'd be like, Chris, what are you doing at Del Frisco's?
pointing and laughing.
Put some pants on.
In a towel.
Yeah,
Sure.
He was walking around Del Frisco's in a towel. Well, I do try to follow Luciano, Tom Luciano.
Yeah,
You're familiar with
course,
the bald gentleman. He has a 3 dating rule. First 3 dates.
Okay.
First one, drinks. First date. Second date, activity. Third date, dinner.
It's not a bad system.
What are your thoughts?
No, it's not a bad system.
It's not a bad system.
I mean, like, look, I'm anti-dinner, like, altogether. Like, I feel like within my system, and I'm not, like, actively dating anybody right now or exclusively dating anybody, but
Ladies.
thanks for the help. But like, I do think that like there has to be a level of familiarity before I'm not gonna just do a dinner just to, like, okay, for a get to know. Drinks covers that. Or like going the activity, whatever the activity is gonna be, walk in the park, or I don't know, freaking kayaking, mini golf. I don't know.
You'll kayak?
No, I'm just I'm throwing shit out there, man. Like I've been on a break actually, so it's just kind of like, okay, I gotta
a dating break or a kayak break?
Yes, both. No, I've been on a bit of a break, so I'm sort of out of practice and shit. I mean, like dating is weird now, ain't it, man?
I just got back in the game.
Yo, did you?
Yeah.
How's it for you?
It's great to be back, Chris.
I'm glad.
It's great to be back.
Why were you on break?
Relationship.
Okay, just ended and now you're back in the mix.
Now you're back in the mix.
Yeah, me was just a break. Like I just kind of
catch your breath.
It's just like, listen, I'm so. You know what it is? It's sort of something where at least me on a personal level, I'm kind of comfortable being single, and I think that puts me in a considerably smaller percentage of people, like in the city, maybe country, maybe world, that okay, if you're single, then you're comfortable, happy being, like by yourself. You're comfortable solo,
Right.
So, and again, it goes back to, okay, well, if I'm going to not be single, like I gotta have like really, really, really good reason, and I'm not saying that we're any kind of picnic, but some of the women, like whether you're talking about like on the dating apps or when you meet them in person, there's a lot of adventures out there. Like in like from a personality standpoint, it's just kind of like it's almost like they're waving their red flags, just like being aggressive.
Oh, out and about.
Yeah, for people to see, and it's just kind of like, I guess we should like still be on board, like. I don't know if that makes sense, man. Like, are you on the app since you're back in the mix, or
no apps?
No apps.
I'm going appless.
So where you
much like your dinner dates.
No, well, there we go. Nice way to
call back. There you go. Listen, we're professionals. Listen. I learned from the school of Keise.
Yeah, that's a school you want to learn from. but all right. So, how do you get your social life going without the apps?
You just jump right back in. Went to a bar, met a lady there. As I brought it up last episode with Hardy, shout out Matt Hardy, asked a girl from workout. Hasn't happened. But I did it. You just got to go out there. You got to take your towel off and show the world what you got.
I like how you got me just walking around in public in a fucking towel.
Well, that's the vision I have in my head, Chris. Well, I don't know about public, but definitely your apartment.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, flattering that that vision is just living in your head, man. You mean, look, my sexier days are behind me, so that is still like living in your head, man. Me in my late 40s, man. Cool, man. Thanks.
Yeah. Well, listen, I didn't say it's a great thing in my head. I'm just telling you what's in my head.
It's all very, very good for my confidence. Thank you.
Right. Well, listen, you're hitting the gym. I saw in your story. Yeah, hitting the gym today.
Well, hey, look, man, it's a big part of my life, man. You know what I mean? Like, look, I'm a boring old jock, but like. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the gym. What else am I gonna do? Like start a family or some shit? It's the gym for me, man.
Yeah, I have a mental disorder where I have to go to the gym. I'm the same way.
In your mind, it's a disorder.
Oh yeah.
How is it a disorder?
Dude, no, the way I assume you approach it like I approach it, where it's like I gotta go, everything else to the side. If I don't go to the gym today or whatever day, I can't function.
I wouldn't go as far as to say that I can't function, but it is like it is instilled in my mind that okay, the days of the week that I'm scheduled to go, I'm going to go.
Yes.
So I mean,
and you have to. It's like eating. Like I can't not eat.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like I won't sound maniacal about it, but in my own chill way, I know I'm going. So it's not like I have to pep talk myself. It's something where with me. I think it's two things. I don't know what it is to not work out, right? That's the first thing. So creature of habit. The second thing is, what's the second thing? It was in and out of my head.
It's football.
No, not even football. Like the second thing is.
I meant you forgetting is the football.
Oh, shut up. All right. I'll get back to it. All right. Okay, the second thing is basically, I just want to take care of my body. Why did that jump out of my head? I just want to take care of my body.
That's what we're doing.
I mean, something to offset the fact that I have my share of drinks on a regular basis. I have my cigarettes on a fairly regular basis.
Cigarettes help, though.
Well, you know what? But I just feel like I should offset. How would it help?
Curb the appetite.
True. Just satisfies my reward system,
which is fine.
But maybe it does both, all right? But the third thing is kind of like the merit system. It's sort of like it's one of the only areas of life where the merit system will just about always apply. Like you get out of it what you put into it. You don't get that guarantee from relationships. You don't get that guarantee from your job for damn sure. Like.
That is a very interesting way to put it. I never thought of it like that, but you're 100% correct.
Well, yeah. I mean, like seriously. I mean, if you're going to the gym and you have a goal and you're doing the workouts and the diet, in a way that it's conducive to that goal, you're pretty much going to get there. Unless we're talking about getting taller or getting a bigger dick, like anything short of that, you're gonna get the results you're looking for, so long as you stick to it. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
So, and I like that deal. So that I feel like that's probably the biggest reason why I've been able to stay in the gym. Obviously, sports is what made me jump in. And lifestyle is simply what makes me continue.
Right.
That's all.
You're used to it. It's a creature of habit.
Yeah, in addition to the other reasons I mentioned. So
right, and
it's probably boring. That's gonna probably sound boring to certain viewers or whatever, especially because working out, like I get it. It's like I'm used to doing it, but I can understand somebody. You see, on the flip side of what I'm talking about, I can understand somebody working out like when they were in school, when they were playing sports, and then they started their adult life.
Right.
Got into a long-term relationship or perhaps a marriage, and then you just kind of pull away from that active lifestyle. And that person, say they gain, 20, 30, 40 pounds over that time as an adult. That person who decides to go back into the gym and get those gains, lose that weight, get back in shape, to me, it's more impressive. It's more impressive to see that.
Right, to see the big change.
Yeah,
than
to make the transition. Like, cause me, like I know from the time I was 17, I know I'm going to the gym. That story's fucking boring.
Right,
that's boring compared to somebody that actually drops 40 pounds, 50 pounds. I've known cats that personally dropped over 100. So
and shout out to them.
Yeah, man. I mean, and it's the impressive part of that, is the patience, the will and the patience. Like those two things have to form Voltron, right? And then just kind of just live within that person as some kind of force. That's dope shit, man.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to turn this into a fitness, podcast.
I got a master's in exercise science. This is the only time I could use it, Let's talk about it.
Yeah, man, but I don't want viewers to be worried about me looking at the screen. It's like, it could be you too. You could make that shit. I'm not gonna,
clip it.
Yes, for real. But yeah, I don't want to turn this into a wrestling promo or some bullshit like that.
Listen, do it. No. Get the views up.
But yeah, though. All right, cool, man. So we're jumping around now. So
this is what we do. Just jump.
It's cool, man. So all right, so you just hit bars, and that's hard for a given amount of guys. So you just kind of go up to them and you just propose the idea of doing something, or you just do the drinks thing and just kind of take it from there.
No, yeah, you just go out. I'm a big. Okay, so this is another thing. You know Tobin Miller?
Yeah, no.
Okay, yeah. Right. I know you do, but to give you some precedent.
Toby, go ahead.
Tobin has a whole theory that guys are hunters or gatherers. And I don't fully agree with that because I think there's different types of hunting. Right? I'm more of a deer hunter. I'll sit in the tree. I have my sniper rifle. And, you have a salt lick over there. Salt lick could be whatever you want. Could be the bar. Could be what have you. And you just snipe. I'm not like a buffalo herder. True. So you just sit back, get comfortable, and you're taking shots. Does this analogy make sense? This is like the fourth time I'm bringing it up.
No,
the more I talk about it
makes sense to me.
It'll be a bit one day. But, yeah, you just sit there. That's how I got the current girl I've been seeing.
Okay.
I had a beer tower right next to me. She went up to it. I forgot what I said. And that's how it happened.
Okay. Now, off that analogy, gathering would be?
Pretty much doing nothing. So the gatherers we referred to in me and Tobin's conversation, I don't know if you know Mike Bramante and Mike Mancusi.
Yeah.
Okay. They're gatherers. Good-looking guys, but they're kind of bashful.
Okay, so then if they're not actively pursuing anything for being bashful or whatever, then what exactly are they gathering? Like moss? Like what are they?
Yeah, the gathering aspect of it we haven't fully thought out.
Yeah,
it's more if you're just not a gatherer.
That's what I'm feeling.
Yeah. No, we're working on this. This isn't a law, Chris. This isn't the hunter-gatherer law.
Sounds to me
this
like
is a theory as of right now.
Like we've got the hunting part down.
Yeah, the gathering part we haven't figured out yet.
Might have to. It might be hunters and something. The fuck else is what.
Yeah, we'll figure this shit. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to consult the Algonquins, but until then. We just got hunter and gatherer.
So there are a couple. So there are a couple of shy guys that don't
correct. Really, gatherers are shy guys. But now, how are you doing
within what you're talking about? Well,
you're an app guy, which I was surprised. You don't come off like an app guy.
I mentioned the apps. I'll admit that I am on them, but to say that I'm like actively on them, nah. I mean, like I'll browse to kill time or whatever, but like I see so few profiles that are like. That captivates like my attention.
I hear you.
You know, it's just like nothing jumps out. Like most of them, and I know I'm not the only person saying it, but like so many of them are just saying the same fucking thing.
Yeah, they're not original. They're hacks. You know, there's a lot of hacks out there.
And it's just kind of like, I mean, like that. The profiles are there, like the prompts, and they're there to kind of like it gives you an opportunity to show some part of your personality. And if I just keep hearing. The same shit whether we're talking about like I don't know Oxford commas like what the fuck are we talking about like
Oxford commas?
If they're not talking about that, they're talking about liking loving traveling like everybody
loves
traveling like you're answering the prompt of like a typical Sunday your meal plan you're answering your meal plan for the week. It's like who the fuck. I guarantee you, they mama don't care. Like, what's gonna make a dude? What's gonna make a dude care? Like, there's gonna be probably a couple of ladies like, oh, she can cook or whatever. But for the most part, like, what's interesting about that?
Now, let me ask you a question. I would have felt like because you've had 97 jobs, right? It must have been pretty easy to get women as a bouncer. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I definitely have.
Yeah, that had to be pretty. That's a deer hunting.
Well, and that's fair. That's fair. I mean, it would definitely apply to me. We're going back a while, man. I'm probably 10 or so years removed from the last time I was babysitting drunk people or whatever, man. But in the time that I was doing it, like I feel like I'm the same person, but like. A little, well, maybe I'm not the same person. I was a hoe. Like I was,
and there's nothing wrong with that.
I was full blown hoe. Like I can't even lie about it. I mean, I wasn't as unabashed as some cats that I know, man. But like looking back, it was.
You were hustling. You got your cardio.
And look, I mean, the opportunities arose. I definitely took advantage of them. But then what happens is I get older, and then it's sort of like. Back then, early 30s and like younger, anybody, let's say between like say 25 or 24 and like late 30s, it would be something where I had a role. I was just kind of like
good role.
I had a role. Like I mean, like nobody was playing for keeps when it came to like for the most part anyway. That women that I had encountered, be it at a bar or wherever I'm at, some club,
right?
I was there to scratch an itch. I was like the chocolate fantasy, if you will.
And what a fantasy that is. The towel.
Sure, right? But then I don't know what's happened in the last few years. Maybe like I'm just encountering women in like an older stage, and they're kind of like playing for keeps. It's just like, nah, the contract didn't fucking change. It's just like, yo, I have a role here. Like, I mean, why are you asking for more than just like casual encounter, or just like we'll casually see each other and we just kind of chit chat. And I know that then they might be looking for a husband, and it's more that they're at that stage. But I was just like, yeah, I don't get it. Why are you looking in my direction for that?
Well, because they're like, well, you're checking every other box.
Well, I'm checking the boxes that were on the damn contract. Like there was nothing. There's nothing in the fine print about me being a keeper.
No, but with women, there's always a fine print. They don't show it to you. It's in back of the contract when you started all this, but it's there. And you got to know.
I mean, I guess it is, man. But like me, I don't know. I can't speak for other guys. Like with me, I just kind of put it out there. Like there's no There's no like me like I'm deviating from that stance. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm having drinks with a chick and I pound the table and I'm just like, don't get me mixed up. Like, all right, I'm not about a relationship. I'm not about marriage, and I just swig my drink and order another one. I mean, I'm not speaking aggressively about it.
Of course not.
But it's definitely put out there. It's like, yo, listen, like I'm not a permanent plan. I'm not saying I'm a whore, but I'm not a permanent plan. So
you're a foster. You're a foster
or a rental.
I don't know which one's worse.
We can put it up to a vote.
Yeah, call us in.
But I don't think. But you know what though? In a city with this many people and in a world with billions of people, yeah, I mean, there's gonna be certain guys that aren't gonna be for keeps. I mean, but for every guy like me, there's a guy that's looking to go the full length. There's 10, 20, 30. So like
right.
That makes me feel pretty at peace with my position. It's just like, if you want to hang, then cool. If
you have simple pleasures.
If not, then I completely understand.
Right.
And it's easier for me to say that now because Lord knows I've had my share of fun, and I do also value my peace of mind.
And rotisserie chicken.
It kind of goes hand in hand in a way.
I would say it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Synonymous.
I think it's all part of a system. Like boom, you have like your peace of mind. I like to call it, for me personally, I like to call it my kingdom of cool. And there's definitely room in my kingdom of cool for a whole chicken that only cost me $7 or $8.
That's what I'm saying.
Fully cooked. How much would you pay for a whole like rotisserie chicken at a restaurant?
Here's the thing.
Actually,
I know how
the
much.
answer to that.
Yeah, I know because I do it like an asshole.
No, but you know what? It's not that bad. It's not that bad. What, like 15 probably, 18, 20?
There's a place that just opened down the block. It's $15 for like chicken breast, rotisserie chicken breast and rice.
Yeah, but this is what I'm talking about. You didn't even get a whole chicken.
I know. You get half a breast and rice. They're really fucking me, and I do it like twice a week. Well, I know. They're playing me.
Well, I don't know. Just do the extra footwork, man. Find yourself you're not that far. Well, it's a bit of a ways. You could always go to that Trader Joe's. Just take
Well, in Brooklyn Heights?
No,
or in downtown Brooklyn?
There's actually a Trader Joe's. Funny how I know about that one. It's over by Spring Street. So like,
yes,
yeah. So there's one over there, right? Yeah. I'm making this whole thing about rotisserie chicken. I don't mean to. You know how I know about that though? I know about that because it was across the street from a school I used to substitute teach at. And it's funny that I'm bringing that up because, like I said, I've had so many different damn jobs. So when I was doing the teaching, so I substitute teaching, there was a school that was really close to a Trader Joe's, and I was like, oh, I didn't know there was a Trader Joe's over there. But
well, I feel like the substitute teaching. I would love to know how you fell into that. Because that's how I met Chris Keise. I met Chris Keise when he was wearing Super Mario shirts 7 nights a week. And doing the substitute teaching.
I wasn't wearing Super Mario shirts 7 nights a week. I was doing a lot of graphic tees at the time.
You were exclusively Nintendo themed or video game themed.
I'm gonna get back
tees.
I'm gonna get back to that. I'll get back to that. So the substitute teaching, that was because of yet a different job I had when I was managing gyms, right? So
interesting.
Okay, and the thing about it was I'm working the gyms, but I was also like I would moonlight as like a bouncer or a door guy or whatever, right? So I was kind of doing both like at the same time.
Okay.
But then I kind of got away from the bouncing and I focused on like working the gym. And then me and staff, we all went out for drinks. It's like around, I don't know, Christmas time, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
And one of our guys, like front desk guys, he had gotten just blasted. He was just drunk on his ass because he was trying to outdrink the manager. This whole shit.
Okay.
Man.
Young
right?
kid.
Yeah. Fucking baby. Right? So bring him outside for fresh air. The door guy's looking at him. And I look at the door guy. I'm like, listen, like, don't worry about him. We got him under control. I used to do doors, so I know how this probably looks to you. So but I'm just saying it's cool. I mean, if you need us to go, then he was like, like, you know what? Nah, he ain't got to go. He's good, man. He's like, yo, I like the way you manage yourself and so on, so on, so on. Like, if you're ever looking for work, yo, could jump in with me. Like he basically ran the security team over there. Right?
Okay.
Winds of Life blew, whatever. Started taking a couple of L's. Had to get back into bouncing. That guy that was at the door also happened to be a teacher, and he said that he could use like subs at the school that he works at.
Okay.
So
and this is a New York public school.
Yeah. In the Lower East Side at the time. So me, like being forever taking on different jobs and shit like that, I was just like, all right, why not?
The high school over by like Black Cat?
You know what? Yeah.
There you go.
You see how it all kind of connects, man? Like,
yeah, right.
So I ended up, it was supposed to be subbing here and there. Next thing I know, the school, it was like a special ed school, kind of, sort of. So
all right.
They needed the extra manpower to be there on a daily basis.
Someone that can lift. Those are some strong kids.
Well, listen, they were pussycats, most of them.
All right.
They were hood, but like, you know what I mean. But when you look like me and you came up in the streets, and it's kind of like there's kind of a connection anyway. So it kind of worked out.
Okay, so, I meant more the special ed.
Oh, you mean what? Like dealing with those kids?
Yeah. Retard strength is what I'm trying to get.
Oh man, you see, there you go.
Right, listen, I'm trying to get you there. You know, I gotta say the term.
He said retard strength, but yeah. So it's funny, like for doing all of these different jobs, it's kind of like it's something where you kind of live in the city and you go to this borough, you go to that borough, the way I have, and it becomes something where every few feet or every couple of blocks you're just coming across like a personal landmark. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's something that is it's just like an experience. It could have been good, it could have been bad, but they all start to add up over time. Mm-hmm. And I hope I could say that without sounding like some kind of old New York fogey or whatever. But I don't know. I just think it's kind of cool. Like if I take if I take about a 5-minute walk from here, right, there'll be a spot that I used to do temp work at.
Okay.
And, it's 60 Wall, and when I had gotten the assignment, this is a few years back, he was just like, "Yeah, man, some filing crap. Or just here's the address, and just go in on Monday." I go over there, and I realize it's 60 Wall Street is like the Trump building. I could be missing.
Okay.
I could be off on the actual number, but I think it's 60.
I know what building. I mean, it says fucking Trump building outside of it. So yeah, I know what building you're talking about.
You don't need no high marks of observation. But I didn't know that it was the Trump building. So like me, like I'm kind of just going through a stretch anyway. So I'm just kind of walking. Like here's 60. And then I see Trump on the damn building. I'm like, oh, come on, man. But again, personal landmark. Like I'm gonna pass by there now. But yeah. Around here, I would say there's about a 5-minute walk. From where at least it was. There used to be this deli. I was temping at some other spot at the time. This is going back about, I'm going to say, like maybe 15 years, right?
Okay.
And it looks like a regular deli. I think it was on Trinity, right? And little did unless you knew about it, but what happens is at the back of the deli, and it was these Asian dudes that ran it, right? At the back of the deli, they had like a bikini bar. It was like quasi strip, but it was pretty much a bikini bar where people could go get drinks and get lap dances from these chicks.
In the back of the deli.
In the back of the deli, it was a bar. Like at the
full-fledged bar.
Full-fledged,
not a strip club.
Yeah.
Well.
I mean, it was
they didn't have the proper licensure.
The next best thing to a strip club.
That's okay.
I mean, you're winning. I mean, if you work in the financial district and you happen to know about that spot, and it would fill out, man.
I could imagine, especially 15 years ago, there wasn't shit down here.
Oh my God, it was hilarious because I was actually doing temp work for Health First at the time.
Okay, yes, I know what you're talking about.
Okay, so I was doing temp work over there, like on
Water Street.
It's No, actually, I had a different job on Water Street. But it was also healthcare related, right? But anyway, so my boys were working at a different office doing just some filing shit, right? So they're doing temp work over there. I'm doing temp work over at Health First, and we meet up, and he's just like, "Yo, man, you want to go to the deli?" And he kind of said it with the kind of like with like a Benny Hill grin on his face. I was just like, And I didn't know what deli he was talking about. Like, what the? He looked at me like, you don't know about the deli? I was like, no, I don't know about the deli. So they filled me in. And, yo, I go to the back of this fucking deli. I'm just like, what am I even looking at, yo? Like, what am I looking at?
People are concerned about the boar's head.
Oh, my God. The same place that you could get a ham and cheese sandwich, man. Just slide to the back cut, and you're just like, oh, man.
Different type of ham back there.
Yeah, but again, personal landmarks. I mean, and it's just, simply for living. Really, really, man. It's cool shit. Anyway, but yeah.
You got to start doing like like in Seinfeld, the Kramer tour. You got to do the Chris Keise tour.
Oh, man. Like, I feel like that tour, right, or the stories attached to that tour would go in so many different directions. It's just like...
It's a multi-day tour.
It would have to be. It would fucking have to be.
I'm going to see you down here holding a flag and a bunch of Chinese tourists following you around.
I mean...
You could be like, this is where you get the ham and cheese and the lap dance.
And a lappy. And you get
writing it down.
For real, man. You ain't even got to, like... You can eat the sandwich while you're getting the lappy, man.
Are we calling them lappies now?
No, we called them lappies back then, man. You can feel free to bring it back.
I'm going to bring it back.
I mean, I don't know how often you frequent strip joints.
I don't, but I'm still going to bring it back.
What do you mean you're going to bring it back? You just got to bring it into your dating life? It's just like,
no, I'm going to bring it up to people that do go, and then they spread it.
Like, all right, fine. Okay, that'll be your gift to the world. Like, I more prefer to picture you like on a day with... fill in the blank with what chick, and just kind of looking at, when was the last time you gave somebody a lappy? Like, I want to be a fly on that wall to see how that whole thing flows out. I think you could pull it off.
Listen, one girl I dated before my ex, who you might actually know, I'll bring it up once these mics are off. She gave lappies.
For work, you mean?
Yeah, I don't know if you know this. This might be post.
First of all, it doesn't really shock me because we're talking about comedy. Like we come from all different kinds of realms. So
this is might be right when you stopped banging places like this. And I never went, but my friends did. There used to be strip clubs. They might still be around underneath Two Brothers Pizzas, and they would hop every night to a different Two Brothers, and you would get a text that said, hey, we're going to be at the Two Brothers Pizza on St. Mark's. Passwords.
I did not know about that.
And then some girl that I believe you know who used to do comedy, she was one of those girls.
Okay. That would not blow my mind. Like, and then when you tell me who would pop, I doubt I'd be surprised, man.
You might.
Old school motherfucker that has seen as much as I have, man. We're hard to surprise. Like I could see any number of people doing a variety of different things, and I'll be like, that's they shit. Okay, bet.
Okay.
I am curious, but
I'm
curious, but I doubt I'll be surprised.
Yeah, you probably won't be surprised. Wait, how much time do we even have left? Okay, we have a few minutes left. You grew up in Brooklyn, then you went to Philly for college?
Brooklyn. I grew up in Queens-ish, I guess, and then I started branching out, started hanging out and balling in Brooklyn and Manhattan, and then
what's Queens-ish?
Well, I grew up there, but it was sort of like
Sunnyside. I'm trying to think. Not Ridgewood.
Jackson Heights, really. Jackson Heights, Elmhurst, that area. Okay.
Interesting.
Right, but there was enough, and God bless the guys, my homies that are from that area, you know what I'm saying, and I love them very much, but on the overall, I had to deal with like a lot of like bigotry and shit. So once I got
to Jackson Heights.
The funny thing about Queens is that, like, unless you're talking about like Jamaica or Left Rack or certain parts of Corona, there's really not a lot of black sectors. So if you're moving around in Queens, going to school here, and you're going to Woodside for this reason, going to Maspeth for that reason, you get exposed. I'm like a racist.
That's where I'm originally from. My family, Maspeth, Woodside.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you see, like Maspeth, I went to IS 73. They probably call it something different now, and that's in
I believe
Maspeth.
my parents went there.
Okay.
Text me when you see this.
Well, yeah, you get it becomes something where you're kind of like a racism connoisseur, because like I go into different sectors that I could tell you about a different version. Yeah. But anyway, so short story shorter, like then when I started balling, I started going to Brooklyn more, Manhattan more. And when I started going to school, that was gonna be uptown at City College after I came back from Temple. So Then once I started working in Boston, I really wasn't in Queens a lot. Like by the time I got like 17, 18, I really wasn't there. So like I learned my lessons there, but like as far as like hard hanging, nah.
Yeah, but by the time you came back, how many fucking food trucks, Indian food places were there in Jackson Heights?
Shit. No, but those were always there, because they're the Indian sector in Jackson Heights.
Well, to me, isn't Jackson Heights like the most diverse Asian community?
I heard somebody say that at one point you could Google and it would say that Jackson Heights was like one of the most, or if not the most diverse area in the world. Or
I heard that also.
Because if you go a few blocks, you'll have like a South Asian sector, and if you go a few blocks this way, you have an East Asian sector. Did I say South first?
I think you said South first.
All right, fine. So there's a South Asian sector, then there's an East Asian sector, and then you start flowing down Roosevelt Avenue. There's like a Mexican/Colombian sector, and then you go a little bit. You keep going up Roosevelt. Now you're going to be in a Dominican sector by the time you get to Corona. So yeah, all the while, not a lot of me.
Right. Yeah, not that area in general.
So for real. So anyway, but that was that adventure. But yeah.
And then with the Temple.
Yeah. So yeah, but Temple was cool in the sense that it is in like what was, I don't know how gentrified it is now, but like the campuses.
The hood.
Yeah, the campuses were pretty much in the ghetto. It was in North Philly. Like the campuses, the dorms were like along Broad Street.
Right.
And I don't imagine that that's changed. I really haven't been down to Philly in a long time.
I don't think it has.
Yeah. In fact, I need to really start like figuring out the Philly scene in terms of comedy. I've been meaning to talk to a couple of cats about that.
I don't think there's much going on. There's Helium. I don't think Philly Comedy Club's there anymore.
I wonder if that's the same Helium. There was a Helium nightclub when I was going to Philly, like, because I went there from like 95 to 97. And now I'm wondering if it's the same fucking place. I doubt it is. But.
No, because it's a chain.
Okay, then never mind.
Yeah, they got one in Buffalo. They got one in Philly.
That's right, the comedy chain.
Good Nights in North Carolina is owned by them also.
Keeping this in mind, because, I mean, not for the podcast, but I mean, I guess I could squeeze it in. I'm definitely looking to do more stuff outside of the city. So that's a project within the project. So, like, you guys, if you know of, comedy in cities along the East Coast, cities along the Eastern Seaboard, which is what I want to start out with, if you think it's a good idea to watch me do my thing, then.
And you saw his feet. Not bad. Well, you saw it with the socks.
Well, yeah, you saw it with the socks, man.
They like the socks.
Yeah, man, they're all right, man. Kind of Valentine themed-ish, but not really intentionally. It happened to be their turn to be worn.
That's fine. Was it a couple days late? But who cares? It's the vibe.
Yeah,
listen,
man, look. I'll wear the socks, but still openly saying puff my chest and say, look, I'm not like a romantic relationship guy. I mean, I'm not a brute by any means. Man, no, but I'm just not mushy.
You're the opposite of Hitch.
Well, yeah, I guess you could say that's probably accurate. Because at least with Hitch, you kind of game planning and there's an approach involved and shit. I'm just whatever. Man.
Yeah, you're like, I need a rotisserie chicken and a towel, and we're calling it a night.
Yeah. Look, I'm a simple man.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, nah. Simple to the point that I'm boring. Like I tell girls that. So they might be having a deep interest. Don't let the interest get too deep. I do comedy. You would murder me if I were a boyfriend. You would murder me. You would kill me in my sleep. One of the most. I feel like it's more important than sex for certain girls, certain women, I should say. That the big thing is attention. That's another thing that I'm talking about. And there's so many women that their love language, which I'm not even gonna get into that shit. My disdain for the whole love language bullshit. But the one that they usually go to is quality time. That's probably the most popular one that I see. Quality time. And I'm just like,
hopefully it's not gift giving.
I'm just like, listen, if you're pining, if you have all these women pining for quality time, then maybe they're the only ones that finding it to be quality. You know what I'm saying? It's just maybe it's not considered quality to the men that they're interested in.
Okay.
So it never really happens. You know what I mean? It could be that they're just not that fun to be around. Or they're not enjoyable company.
Very possible.
put my money on it. Really
You got to
would.
bring them to LOL and see how they deal there.
That's not a bad plan.
If you could hang at LOL and if you could enjoy that, might be a keeper.
I mean, you might be onto something.
That's what I'm saying.
You definitely might be
That
onto
fucking
something.
place.
I mean, it's not that bad.
Come on. They just put you up a lot, Chris. Be honest.
They actually don't put me up a lot like that. I mean, a couple of times a week I get time, and and everything being everything. What I love about LOL is the fact that you get like a nice mixture in terms of like the turnout. So they're kind of like from like all over the place because they're getting their tickets from Midtown Times Square area.
Right.
So you're
They're
getting,
told Chris Rock's coming.
well, hey, listen, man. Like everybody's got their
It's a hustle.
hustle. Everybody's got
It's
their
a hustle.
So I don't knock it at all. But the whole thing. I mean, the end result, the room that you get, man. It's a live room, and it gives you an audience that you really have to have your set together. Otherwise, you're gonna get stared at, and and I can appreciate that because the same way you'll talk about that, right? Like, okay, let's say we're talking about the Stand or New York Comedy Club, great clubs, right? Even in the Cellar, right? But for the most part, like in those rooms, and you may want to edit this one out, but I'll be honest, and like I think most of the time we're talking about like if you're talking about the Stand in New York, it's a milk white room.
The Stand, definitely.
You know what I mean? And sometimes, and you know what? I mean, look, and it's a good show, and there's no disrespect to the club, there's no disrespect to the comics because they're all
That's
solid.
the audience they attract.
Yeah, and it's sort of like I like a mix. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if I'm not
Well, that's
doing
New
like a
York.
black room, well, but that's the thing. We see now we're getting into a whole different thing too. Like, I mean, New York is still diverse, but like with all the gentrification that's happened, like it's not as diverse as it once was, and I think that there's a different energy to the city because of that. And I'm not saying white people fucked up the city or whatever. But I'm definitely saying that there's a different energy, and I'm also saying that okay, if the Stand had existed in that Union Square area,
When the heroin needles were there?
let's say 15 to no, the heroin is more Lower East Side, but
Well, now. Back in the day, Union Square?
yeah, who am I kidding? Yeah, that's one point. Anyway, so I'm thinking about the Palladium now, but all right. Anyway, so, but I think that room would have been a lot more diverse if it had existed just outside of that Union Square Park, like 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah, now it's a little Times Square-y, little Mickey Mousey. Little corporate.
It is what it is, right? It is what it is. Like change is going to happen, and it kind of went in this direction. But I'm saying in terms of like performing, and I know that if I'm in Middle America, I know that okay, I might be performing like where I'm going to be performing is going to it'll probably be like mostly whatever. Yeah. But I understand that though because we're talking about
Nebraska.
Right.
Yeah.
Talking about New York though, you know what I'm saying? Like to see that in New York is just like wow, like this room's really fucking white. You know
Yeah, but that's the New York we know.
I'll still work the room, but it's just like I'm working the room. I'm looking, I'm just like, damn. you know? So,
Right. Well, yeah. Hell's Kitchen now different than 20 years ago. Where LOL is.
Well, yeah. But there's still a blend. You know what I mean? Like there's
Now?
Yeah,
In
even
Hell's
now.
Kitchen?
There's still a blend. There's still a blend, and I think that because of the activity and the venues that are out there, I think that there's still going to be a blend just off of like foot traffic. That's just going to naturally happen.
That's fair.
All right. I mean, and then definitely more so than compared to okay, like if I was to go to like if I were to step into show face at like New York Comedy Club or the Stand and say my highs or my what's ups or whatever, like if I peek in the room, I know what I'm going to see.
Yeah.
And
what about Tiny Cupboard?
I like Tiny Cupboard.
All right.
I like. I mean, it's cool for outside of the convenience in terms of like getting over there, but they catch a mix. I mean, I haven't gone there a lot. I haven't gone there in a while. I haven't gone there for like maybe like 6 months. You and I have a better idea. Do you go?
I don't go. No, I haven't gone there. Probably close to a year now. I don't know. That's a weird room to me. Anyone that's doing an Airbnb in East New York, what are you doing here?
I mean, look, but I catch a mixture there. I mean, I would say, there's a given amount of hipsters that go to that spot, but
it's a lot. To me, it was a lot of hipsters.
Yeah, so which doesn't necessarily bug me. I mean, like I feel like I have to go into a different like set list.
Gotta bring a banjo.
Oh man, be nice. You don't have to bring a fucking banjo, man. Like,
for hipsters, I don't know.
Yeah.
Mumfors and
you have enough range to work a hipster room though, man. It's not gonna be a sickening experience.
Yeah, they don't like rage. They like Bob Ross.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, but you articulate. Wow, I'm screwing up the word articulate. You articulate your jokes in a way where, like, it can, I feel like you have a hard time with the hipsters.
With the hipsters? Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That surprises me, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I do well with tourists, but hipsters.
That's your Achilles heel?
Yeah, I can't crack them. And anyone at the stand, for the most part, I don't do well there.
No?
I did well last show, but overall, it's a tough room.
You think so?
It's the upstairs room, not the downstairs room.
I was about to say the downstairs room seems like...
Downstairs room's hot. Upstairs room's tough.
There's something about the ambiance to it. Like, I don't know. I mean, they made it better now because it's, like, more closed off. But at some point, like, when they had first... when
it was all glass and you could see everything.
Yeah, you could see it. So there was, like, a lot of distractions. But even with... I guess I gotta peek in at the upstairs room to see how it flows.
Someone told me it has Cheesecake Energy vibes, Cheesecake Factory vibes, and I was like, okay, I kind of get that.
I'm willing to believe it. I didn't know the upstairs room was like significantly tougher than the downstairs.
Yeah, that's the rep. But yeah, fuck them. Whatever. They got good pizza.
I heard the menu's pretty good.
Yeah, menu's pretty good.
Never ate there.
Oh, well, you're not going to eat out.
And there we are.
There you go. Call back. Oh, we did it. Plug whatever.
All right, keep it simple. Keiseology, KEISEOLOGY. You can find me on Instagram. And you can find me on Twitter. We're putting up more stuff there. I'm throwing up stuff on TikTok right under the same name, Keiseology. You can find me at LOL. Grizzly Pear, be it the new Midtown one or the one down in Greenwich Village, and all around the city. I'll be posting my stuff, and yeah, you'll see me. And don't forget what I said. If you're out of town watching this, man, I'll be more than happy to come down. So yeah, follow me, and we'll connect that way, man.
Grizzly Pear's a fucking tough room.
You think so?
I know so.
Oh, shut up.
All right.